EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will... EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24. The NFL on EA Sports is in the Steel City at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
On 2nd down, it's Bell.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 43 yards. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Now Bell. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He's going to get it running right. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Here's Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Gun.
Second down, Prescott. And he's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Prescott on 1st down. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Let's go. Let's finish now. 47.
Now Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. He'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. I do want to take this time to mention that the next few months, very big in the competitive Madden Championship Series. A few weeks ago, we saw Skimbo go back-to-back.
That's right, back-to-back, 2nd straight year.
You're fired up. And then next up, the Madden Challenge, and it's a $190,000 prize pool. And the latter, and got his man complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger goes underneath for Bell. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, Their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Demarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's looking deep for Bell. This is caught inside the 15. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it coming off a career-high 8. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Well, partner, as the Cowboys come back out here, I want to ask you to assess the season. The first couple months of the year for Dallas starting to look like they'd be sitting at home in January. Then the Amari Cooper trade comes. They breeze through November unbeaten, part of a 5-game winning streak. But then, a real head-scratcher, Week 15, they get shut out in Indianapolis.
You just wonder if all the wins that got them there, those 5, which were all tough, physical, hard-hitting battles, if it took a little bit out of them before they went on the road and lost Indianapolis in Week 15. But if they get to the playoffs, which it looks like they're going to, are they a threat to New Orleans? Are they a threat to Los Angeles? Are they a threat to Chicago? To me, they are only if it's a low-scoring, physical affair. That's when Dallas plays at its best, and that's what they'll have to do to reduce some of those high-flying teams like New Orleans and Los Angeles.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 26.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Prescott to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Cody Sensabaugh. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Get out, get out.
On second down, Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gun. Here you go.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Cooper's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. A first down throw for Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They're losing here in the third quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was a place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
The Cowboys on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's brought down. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3 and out. Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
These 2.
A give to Bell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down.
The give is to Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Let's go.
Here's Bell. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Let's go now.
You